I'm making this bowl as a gift, and about halfway through it I found this cool little surprise on the inside. It was a limb that was encapsulated inside of it, so it created some unique grain patterns on it, so I'm really excited about that. If you have any suggestions for project videos, something you would like to see, please leave it below in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Help support the companies that support our community. After I got into it, I realized there was a limb that was hidden inside of it. So it was really, it's a neat effect. So this probably broke off years ago. The tree grew back around it and it created some really unique grain patterns in it as well. So it's just a kind of a neat effect, and it was getting, you know, this is a fruit bowl, so I didn't want to make it too thin, and it was getting pretty close to the edge. So I filled it up with Stone Coat's Quick Coat Epoxy. This stuff works great for deep cracks like this. It sets up in about 3 hours, so you can sand and finish it. This one was getting kind of late, so I waited till the next day. But if you have some small cracks, the Starbond CA works great. They have a black CA, but if you have larger stuff, this stuff works fantastic for big gaps like this. So after I got it all coated, I went ahead and put it back on the lathe, and then I used the negative rake cutter to clean it all up, and that way the transition from the wood to the resin is nice and smooth. I didn't, if you're using a regular cutter, it will catch it, so the negative rake works great on that. So I went ahead and cleaned up the whole inside of the bowl, and then cleaned up the rim and then the outside of it as well. Since I am doing a bowl, I will mention I do have a bowl class coming up this Saturday. There's a link down in the description if you want to sign up for it. So we're going to do 2 bowls. We're going to do one with a chuck and one without, and we'll do one with gouges and one with carbide. So if you're interested, check out the link below. After I got it all turned, I went ahead and sanded through a couple of grits with dry sandpaper, and then I switched over and used the Howard's beeswax and orange oil. So I just kind of got the whole piece coated with a paper towel, and then I started sanding through the grits, and I went from 180 on with the wet all the way up to 600, and it's really nice finish. It's it's putting the finish on and capturing all that sanding dust at one time. You probably see me sand a lot with oil. So what I do when I'm doing that is I run through a grit, I take the paper towels, wipe all of it off, all the slurry that it creates, and that way it gets rid of any like loose grit from the sandpaper, so that you're not sanding it in as you move on to a higher grit. So I go ahead and wipe it off. And the other thing I do is I also go ahead and run through a grit in forward, and then the next grit I go in reverse, and I just keep doing that all the way up through 600. So there is the bowl. It is 12 inches in diameter and 4 inches tall. I'm super happy with how it came out. I love that limb that was in there. I was not expecting that when I started turning it. There were some cool little things on the outside, but I didn't know that was in there. So I'm super happy with that. I'll put some pictures up, but you can see how it like pushed the grain up and kind of a cool pattern in there. But super happy with how it turned out. So this bowl is going to Tony. So Jim called me last week, and he goes, "Can you do something for me? I have a friend that works at Woodcraft, and she is retiring, and Jim and her have been friends for over 30 years. So Tony, this bowl is for you, and I will get it in the mail." So from Jim and the whole Easywood gang, congratulations. All right, I will get it in the mail. So yeah, it's super happy with how it turned out, and I love that finish. Whether you're using the Howard's or the Doctor's Walnut oil, it just gives it that nice rich feel to it. So we got a couple things. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I have the bowl class coming up. So if you're interested in getting into bowl turning, I have a link down below in the description where you can sign up for the class. So it'll all be done through Zoom. It's all live. You can ask questions as we're going through it. And I'm going to do one with the chuck, one without. So if you don't have a chuck, I'll explain to you how to turn a bowl without one. And then we'll do one with the carbide and one with gouges. But it should be a fun class. We did a box class a couple weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. We're getting everybody, or some more people lined up for the next craft festival. We had a lot of fun last Saturday. The next one will be towards the end of March. So we're getting all that ironed out, and I will start promoting that and letting you know where the link is once we get that all dialed in. I have, what do I have? I'm working on a Valentine's Day project. So hopefully that will be ready by next week. So it should be a fun one. If there's anything you saw in the video, please go down, and I put the links to everything down below in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button and like. I really appreciate it. All right, I think that's about it. Wrapping it up. I will get that in the mail get the bowl in the mail. All right, if you like this video, I did another bowl a couple weeks ago and the wood was like super punky, but I went ahead and burnt the outside of it and then coated the whole thing in epoxy. And that one down there, that's just a fun one, and you get to see me dance. I'm not sure if that's a plus or not though. All right, have a great one.